Guys, and welcome back. Well, it's over. Now, the jury in the murder for hire trial of former TV reality star James Timothy Norman heard dramatically different closing arguments before they began to deliberate before noon on today. Now, as you know, Tim is accused of orchestrating the 2016 murder of his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery, and then attempting to cash out a $450,000 in fraudulent life insurance policy he took out on Montgomery before he was killed. Now, he faces two federal murder for hire counts, one count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud. Now, Norman and his nephew starred in Welcome to Sweetie Pies, along with the reality show about the popular soul food business of his mother, Robbie Montgomery, and Andre's grandmother, founded in St. Louis area. Now, Assistant United States Attorney Angie Dennis said in her closing argument for the prosecution that Norman initiated the plot to kill his nephew in hopes of a payout. Now, she said not only did he know he was the architect of his plan, this plan doesn't exist but for Tim Norman's greed. Norman's defense attorney, Michael Leonard, responded in closing arguments that the murder plot presented by prosecutors was a made-up theory. The picture from everyone in this case was that he was a man of character. Now, prosecutors argued the day of the shooting, Norman paid $10,000 to an exotic dancer, Terica Ellis, to track his nephew's location. They accused Norman of then using a friend to pay $5,000 to the shooter, Travell Anthony Hill, after he killed Montgomery. Now, both Ellis and Hill testified for the prosecution. Now, the defendant saw his opportunity to cash in, and he tried to, Dennis argued. He had his own nephew executed. Now, Norman made the rare decision for a criminal defendant to take the stand on yesterday in his own defense in the final days of testimony on Tuesday. He told the jury he asked Hill and Ellis to find and confront his nephew about a recent burglary at his mother's home. That's it. But he said he never paid them or asked them to hurt his nephew. Now, he testified that about 18 months before the killing, he brought Andre to St. Louis, paid his rent, enrolled him in music school. He said he then cut him off financially after Montgomery stopped going to work and school. Now, the defense called former Sweetie Pie's employee and other character witness who said Norman and his nephew were close. Lawyer also questioned the credibility of the testimony from Tim's alleged co-conspirators and argued Terica Ellis felt compelled to testify to get a shorter sentence. Now, in making life's most important decisions, would you make that based upon a stripper who said she looked in your face and lied to you? He also emphasized that the shooter, Hill, who prosecutors called Norman's hired gun, said, "Nobody else should be responsible for my actions but me. I looked up to Tim as a mentor." Now, Hill testified that he bought a gun and killed Andre after he was told by a mutual acquaintance that Norman would pay to have his nephew killed. Now, Hill said he was paid $5,000 after the killing by another man, Darrell Howard, who testified he made the payment at Norman's direction. Now, Leonard emphasized that Hill testified he was a heavy drug user at the time and hopped up on drugs that day. That's the level of credibility of their star witness. Now, in her rebuttal, the prosecutor, Dennis, told juries not to trust Norman's testimony. The defendant sat up there for 4 hours and spun tales because that's what he does. There's about 45 reasons why you can't trust a word this man says. Now, Dennis emphasized that all the testimony from co-conspirators in trial by text, cell phone records, and location data. He scripted a show to portray an image of wealth and success that wasn't real, Danny said. She said Tim, in trial, created an image of being a mentor and a father figure to all these people, but it's fiction. Yes, it is. Now, yes, it is. And I agree with her. Now, I just hope the jury can see through this. Because, I mean, why would these people put all of this on Tim? I mean, come on. Why was Tim there on the day of the murder and then flew back? You know, he tried to perpetrate and say on yesterday that it was normal for him to come in town and get the money out of the restaurant and do a deposit and go back to Los Angeles. But come on, guys. Okay, if you were so close to this nephew that you spent all this money on, why didn't you come back for his vigil? I mean, you were on TV. Looked like that would have been your best bet. You hadn't killed, so you should have came to the vigil. You came when he was murdered, but you didn't come to his. You know, all of this. I mean, anyone can see through this. This is just like the prosecutor said. This is a liar, and you can't believe nothing this psychopath says. And I wish they would have brought up how he acted on the show and showed that where he hit Andre at the restaurant when the show was on, when the reality show was on. Well, I hope those jurors are able to see through. And yeah, text messages don't lie. All like that prosecutor said, everything is backed up on evidence. Yeah. So he can say that, oh, he slept with Terica for $1,000 that day. He came in town to sleep with her and pay her $1,000. Come on. Nope. That's not gonna get it. And to say that he didn't do the policy, and blame everything on the insurance man now. Come on now. Come on. He thought that he had met with the insurance guy had met with Andre and got his signature and all. Oh no. Come on. All right, guys, what do you think? Press that comment button. We will discuss, but before the week's over, I don't think it's going to take this jury long to deliberate. And we might have us a verdict by tomorrow. All right, guys, that's it this time. Thank you so very much for watching my video. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, imparting, be blessed, y'all.